Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Eric with American Business Systems. Want to tell you thank you for joining us this afternoon. Hope you're going to enjoy today's webinar. We're going to be talking a little bit about technology and will this affect medical billing and even getting involved in medical billing. If I were in your shoes, I would want to know that. There's a lot of advancements going on in technology with artificial intelligence and how it's being applied. And I know that as you're looking into our business here at American Business Systems, you're probably wondering again, is this going to be a hindrance? Is it going to be a help? Will technology eliminate the need for medical billers? Hopefully today in our webinar that we're going to have today, we're going to dive in almost kind of like an analysis of what's happening in healthcare, the technological disruption that's happening in healthcare. So we're going to do a deep dive in that this afternoon. So I hope that you enjoyed your week so far, and hope that you come here to take some notes and even ask some questions for me this afternoon. Again, my name is Eric Ogier. I'll be your host this afternoon, and I will do my best to help answer most, if not all, of your questions whenever it comes down to this whole thing about artificial intelligence. Yes. Yeah. Will it affect us here in our world of healthcare? I think it's going to help us, to be honest with you. I'll just tell you that right up front and not hopefully be able to make that point clear as I go through today's webinar. So what I want you to do is get a note and pen and paper and let's take some notes together. Let's get ready to ask some questions. Like I said, I'll do my best to help answer some of those questions for you. And we'll enjoy the afternoon just together and see what we can do to find out and see if we can't get ourselves into maybe even a little trouble about what's going on in healthcare and hopefully help you out here. I want you to make sure that you can hear me. I think it shows on my side that my audio is coming in. I see the little thing going up and down here, so I know that it's going through. I just want to make sure that you're hearing it. So if you don't mind, if you'll just type in something in there in the Q&A box, if you'll find the Q&A box, just tell me where you're located this afternoon. I'd like to kind of get to know you, kind of get to know where you're located this afternoon. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas, actually just kind of northwest of Fort Worth. Been in this Dallas-Fort Worth area for a little over 12 years. Been a part of American Business Systems almost 16 and a half years, going on 17. So um, I may not know every question that you might ask or give to me this afternoon, and if I don't, I will certainly know how to get some help for you. Alan is from San Antonio. Good to see you, Mr. Texan. Good to have you here. Appreciate you in the Lone Star State. Hope things are going well down in San Antonio. It's a great place to be. Folks, if you've never been to San Antonio, you need to get down there and go on the Riverwalk. You'll certainly enjoy that. So maybe even call up Alan while you're down there. Becky's out of South California. Hopefully things are going well there. Hope things have settled down there in California. So good to hear you. Brandy, thank you. She's calling in from West Palm Beach, Florida. Thanks so much, Brandy. I hope things are going well there and hope that you guys avoid any potential hurricanes this year. Yeton is from Houston. Thank you for joining us. Got another Texan here on the line. I see there's some other folks here, but that's okay. And I see some other folks continue to keep joining in with us this afternoon. But if you're just joining in with us, you can see here I've asked you to just to put in where in the Q&A box where you are calling in from this afternoon. So again, my name's Eric Ogier. I'll be your solo host this afternoon. But as I do that, I want to introduce you to our CEO of our company, and that's Adam Phillips. Adam's been running the company for a few years now, doing a fantastic job here at ABS. He's grown up in this. His parents started American Business Systems well over 30 years ago. So as you can see, as he is a young man, I don't think he's got many gray hairs, not like me. I started off, whenever I started off here, I had a few. It was very, very, very few. But Adam's probably doing very well, and I'm glad that he is in the seat of the CEO here of American Business Systems. Adam's written some books here. One in particular, if you haven't gotten a copy of this, you can probably ask your sales rep for a PDF copy of 9 ways doctors let money slip through their fingers. You might want to grab a hold of that and kind of look it through. And it's a PDF, so you can certainly look through it, kind of get a little bit of knowledge of some of some of the information he's written. That's actually been co-authored by a doctor, Dr. Vicki Rackner. So you can check that out. and what they've been able to put together. He's also the founder of an organization called MIRMA. MIRMA is the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. It is a part of an association that you will be a part of once you become a business opportunity person here with the business owner here with American Business Systems. It is this group that will actually, once you've completed your training here with us here at American Business Systems, they will certify you as a certified medical revenue manager. So this will give you an opportunity to carry that logo on all of your marketing material on your website that, again, you get a part of here at American Business Systems. And there's great information out there on MIRMA. You can go check it out there right now. You can see the board of directors that are on MIRMA. And again, like I said, they're the ones that are going to be certifying you as a certified medical revenue manager. Now, one other thing about Adam, early last year, we got asked the question really early about this whole thing about artificial intelligence. And so he was asked to write an article on it. And there's a few things that I'm going to be chatting about and utilizing from this article in today's webinar that he wrote from last year in the Billing and Coding Advantage magazine. Now, this is a really printed magazine that goes out bi-monthly, and he was a contributor to that magazine last year. But things have changed, I think even for the better since he's written the article. But some of the things that he said there are things that can be applied today, and we're going to talk about some of those this afternoon. So as we go through this afternoon, remember that this hour that we're together is going to go by fairly quickly. And even if it takes an hour, sometimes we like to keep it short so that our YouTube friends that will join us a little bit later, they don't have to sit there through an entire hour webinar from start to finish. So we're going to see what we can do to kind of keep this as light as possible, but enjoyable, kind of comical at sometimes. We'll see what we can find out here. But really want to help you answer some of your questions that you may have, obviously concerning artificial intelligence, the technology that's happening in healthcare. Is it going to benefit you? Is it going to disrupt you? Is it going to eliminate medical billers altogether? Hopefully, we'll figure out and answer that question together this afternoon. So again, I entitled today's webinar, Will Technology Eliminate the Need for Medical Billers? And a subtitle, An Analysis of Technological Disruptions in Healthcare. So folks, you can imagine over the last 15 plus years that I've been here with American Business Systems, there have been a lot of disruptions in healthcare. Everything from the immediate, whenever I first got started here, there was just the emergence of electronic medical records. Boy, everybody thought, gosh, this is going to disrupt everything. It's going to make the doctor's job easier. It's going to make even the need for medical billers possibly to go away, because the doctors are going to be able to take their notes and probably do all their coding right through their electronic medical records platform. Well, that's come and gone. And listen, the increase of independent medical billers have actually increased as well. Then we had a time where, gosh, it looked like we might be going to a single payer. And, it just seemed like the politicians couldn't figure out which way to go. But folks, you got to understand that there is high money and a lot of money in health insurance, as you can imagine. And I came out and said early on, if there was ever a time where we would ever go to a single payer insurance, it would be so far past my time, because folks, the money that goes through insurance companies like Aetna and United Healthcare, some of the Cigna, some of these others that are there, there's a lot of money that passes through to politicians, as you could imagine, and the lobbyists that there are in the Washington, D.C. It's going to be hard to see that we would ever go to a single payer like Canada. But even in Canada, there is still a need for medical billers. But even if we got down to that, I don't think that we would see that happening here. Then there was several other issues that have occurred in healthcare since I've been on here with American Business Systems. So today I just want to kind of, like I said, we got this new emergence of technological issues that are happening, especially with this birth of artificial intelligence. I'm sure we've all used it to some degree. There's some great opportunities for you to help you with your writing. There's Grammarly out there. Some of you might know about that. Obviously, Chat GPT's out there. There's a couple of other ones out there. Claude is one that's used very much in many different ways, and then you've got platforms out there that you can literally type what you want in a photograph and create something to give you a photograph or an image. Well, folks, this is what I did with what we're looking at right now. This was not an image that I found on some type of Photoshop platform or anything else like that. I literally typed in what I wanted for today's webinar, and it popped out with this. I mean, so folks, we're already using artificial intelligence in so many different ways. And so let's not be afraid of it. And I think what you're going to find here in today's webinar is that we're going to find out that I think humans and our technology are going to do pretty well with each other. There's an article here that I wanted to kind of start off with here. Now, what you can do, you can get with your sales rep and get a copy of today's slide deck. There are some links in there that you might want to get a hold of. So you might want to go chase these articles down. But can AI manage high cost claims? Not without humans. So this is an article that was written. You can go find it there. It's at the healthpayerintelligence.com/news. And you can see the rest of it. It's there. You can go, either take a quick snapshot of this, a screenshot of it, and then go back and look at it. Or again, ask your sales rep for a slide deck of this. We'd be happy to get it to you. So that one's, with the high complexity of healthcare and the claims and the cost and claims that get denied and codes that are misdone, misapplied. I think that you're going to find the artificial intelligence technology being an incredible help. LinkedIn put out something, the future of medical billing and coding with artificial intelligence. Now, again, you can go find this. It's on linkedin.com/pulse/future medical billing coding artificial whatever. You can see the link down there. But let me just read this, what it tells you. It says the future of medical billing and coding is closely tied to the advancements in artificial intelligence. Let me tell you right now, folks, it's already happening. Oops, let me get back. I hit my keyboard there. It's already happening, and I think that you're going to find out that even what we're utilizing it for already, it's helping our medical billing business owners that can apply this and share this and even tell the doctors about it. But it goes on to say, with automation, optimization, and the integration of AI technology, healthcare organizations can streamline their billing and insurance operations, reducing costs and improving overall efficiency. Medical coders with extensive knowledge and expertise in utilizing AI tools will be in high demand as the healthcare industry continues to embrace these technological advancements. So you can see the question that we pose today, will technology eliminate the need for medical billers? I don't think it's going to happen. Matter of fact, AAPC, this organization here, and they've got an article called Pulse, Will AI Impact Medical Billing and Coding? Now, this is a great article. It's a lot longer article, and that's why I just put this up here in short so that you can, at least after the webinar, you can go dig these articles up and kind of do some of your own digging. But you know what, folks, you can do your own search out there. These are things that I look for. I try to help you and kind of get the wheels started and greased a little bit, so to say, and kind of get you thinking of what you need to be looking at. And so, but what I wanted to do is kind of do a little dive into Adam's article that he published this last year, kind of dissect it down, but then get some questions out there and hopefully some answers for you as we go through today's webinar. And as you can see here, again, this was an article that you can get a hold of. It's a PDF that, again, you can go check and ask your sales rep that you're working with here at American Business Systems, and they'll get that to you. But here's the real question there. I mean, I'm not going to read all of Adam's article. I want you to know where you can go get it, so you can just go get it over there. But here's the real question, folks. Will AI eliminate human roles or create new ones? I think it's going to do the latter. I think it's going to create new ones and it's going to help you as you grow. But why? Let's just kind of take some facts here. Let's just kind of go through what's happening right now. Medical billing is a $100+ billion industry in the United States. And so, folks, let that sink in a little bit. It's huge out there. And remember, all you folks, you just need a slice of this. And that's why whenever you're trying to look at a business opportunity, you want to see, is there a place and a role for me in this arena, in this sector, so to say? And we see this as a growing market. The founder and the visionary of American Business Systems, Patrick Phillips, started this, like I said, over 30 years ago. And I remember whenever he and I would talk, and we would sometimes do these webinars together, and we would actually ask the question with each other, how much longer will this actually last? And like I said, I started here a little over 15, 16 years ago. And so, the business had just, I think, celebrated its 10th or 11th anniversary. And so, it was, Patrick was going, gosh, I couldn't believe it lasted this long. But then, year 20 came by, and then year 25 came by, and then year 30 went by, and we're still here, folks. And the great thing about it is that American Business Systems as a whole subsidiary this is all we've ever done. And so we know what we're doing to help you launch your business and help you get going as best as you can. Direct billing services. Let's just talk about just direct billing. So we're talking about just the doctors themselves. Approximately $30 to $35 billion is spent annually on outsourced medical billing services alone. Again, folks, let that sink in. You just need a slice of that pie there to get going. One doctor can generate an income level for you from anywhere from, let's say, the low 40s to the upper 60s, depending upon what kind of doctor it might be. Obviously, you can do billing for primary care. You can do billing for a specialist like a cardiologist or endocrinologist or a nephrologist or whatever ologist that's out there. You can also do billing for folks that are dealing with mental health. You can that's a big part of everything that's going on right now. If you find a chiropractor, you can do some billing for a chiropractor. We've got some folks that do billing for massage therapists. So it's all out there. So remember, all you need is a little piece of that. In-house billing operations in healthcare provides spending. Healthcare providers spend an estimated 45 to 50 billion on maintaining their own billing departments. Well, folks, again, let that sink in a little bit. These are staggering numbers here if you really think about it. And this is for in-house billers. And a lot of people that get into this, why would a doctor ever want to outsource their billing? Well, it's because it's actually cheaper for the doctor because they don't have to deal with salaries or benefits or office space or even trying to maintain their own technology. Why not have an outsourced medical billing company that can come in and place a piece of technology in there that has AI capabilities and they're not having to maintain it? And so this is what we're able to provide in many cases to our doctors that we're providing services for. Again, kind of seeing some more information here about medical billing and the billion-dollar industry, 100 million, 100+ billion-dollar industry it is. Technology solutions are another area of where that $100 billion is. 15 to 20 billion is spent on billing software, electronic health records with billing components and related technologies. So you can see here just the enormity of the industry in and of itself. So as you're trying to figure out, do I go buy the sandwich shop? Do I go do another type of maybe a yogurt shop or whatever else is out there? We've had people look at insurance brokerages and all sorts of stuff, but they found out they end up here because number one, we have a low dollar amount entry, and it takes care of everything. And then there's never a franchise fee or a royalty fee or anything else. Then a part of this medical billing, $100 billion industry, a lot of it spent on training and compliance. And again, with American business systems, think about getting all of this in one package that you can deliver to a doctor. This is the real reason why I think, again, AI will not eliminate human roles, but they're going to actually create more, as you'll see here. 5 reasons why I think that this is so large here is number one, healthcare spending scales. Again, the U.S. healthcare spending surpasses 4 trillion. Now, this is the entirety of healthcare. This is including Medicare, with administrative costs is 15 to 25% of that $4 trillion. Okay, so if I'm just trying to paint this picture for you, just with some data, there's times where we can have data webinars, and hopefully for you analytical people out there, you're digging this, and that's really what we need to know is what kind of market am I entering into? So you've got to say that this is very good information for you to do. Now, Yatin says, I apologize for this, but I have already attended this webinar before and gone through. I don't know how you've done this. This is a brand new information that I've got here. My reasons for joining today is simply to observe how your software operates and to gain a better understanding of your system. Yeah, and what we can do here is that there is a way in which you can do a live demonstration of our software. Now, if you want to see the way the software works, you'll see here at the end we've got a way in which you can gather that information. But let me continue on with this, because these are brand new stats that I've got here. Number 2 here is the complexity drives the cost. The multiplayer systems that are out there. Now that's that Medicare, Medicaid, United Healthcare, Aetna, Cigna, all these multi-payer systems, they've got a lot of its own administrative burdens that they need to take care of. So with, again, the software that we have that has a lot of integrated automated systems that are already in it, some AI roles that it plays in it, is going to help drive those costs down. Number 3, regulatory requirements, documentation requires for Medicare, Medicaid, and private insurances necessitate significant resources. And this, again, why the industry is so large. Number 4, error prevention. Now let's talk about this real quickly, because this is important to know. The reason why you would want to get into this business in the first place is to help reduce the amount of denied claims a doctor receives. Once you do your billing, in most software cases that do not have any AI background or backbone to it, and then with some other assets that we have with our system, which one of them is what we have in one of our systems. It has its own built-in clearinghouse. Folks, we're able to reduce denied claims under 2%. Now let that sort of sink in your head as well. Average, if you just kind of type in and figure out a Google search and you want to look at different percentages of what it is to where doctors are losing money, most businesses in healthcare, whenever I say businesses, because I'm including doctors' offices, we're talking about primary care, the specialties that are out there, other organizations that bill on what's called a CMS 1500 form, their average denied claims are going to run in the double digits. Okay, it could be as low as 10%, but as I've seen it as high as 18 to 19% as well. But folks, whenever you can reduce the amount of claims that are denied, and you get that doctor paid on the first submissions of claims, then the doctor doesn't feel like they're trying to play catch up. That's what we're trying to do. So one of the reasons why I think this is actually going to help is because AI is playing an important role in that, again, with some other things. And then we've got continuous updates. These are some of the reasons why, again, I believe that the industry is going to continue to grow. I think it's going to be a wider market as time goes on. Matter of fact, Adam sent me a an article today. Let me see if I can dig this up real quickly because I think I sent it over to myself today. And that is that there is a new revival, so to say, of the doctors wanting to get out of practices that are uh, they become employees of. They want to go back into private practice. So we're starting to see a pretty big upswing on doctors returning back to private practice. All right. Are there any questions so far? We're almost at the bottom of the hour, and I've got a little bit more information I want to get to you, and then we're going to go through some of the information here at American Business Systems that's going to help you, and it's going to probably help you with some of your questions that you've got along here as well. All right, let's real quickly, if there's no other questions, I'm going to keep moving forward. Let's talk about the human element in medical billing. First of all, these are some of the things that, as you'll find out, that AI cannot do, and that's to negotiate with insurance representatives. An automated system is not going to be able to pick up a phone and call an insurance company and talk with them and find out why maybe a claim wasn't paid, where did they actually get it. So these folks, I'm trying to help set the stage of why I do not believe that just because we're having this initial push that's going into artificial intelligence, it's not going to eliminate the medical billing side of it, especially for medical billers. That's one thing. Number two, as you can see here, there's going to be times where you're going to need to have discussions with the insurance companies on appeals and denial management. Again, these are when a claim does get denied, and it will happen even with our system. Someone has to still talk with the insurance company and make the appeal. Sometimes it's just they missed it in their system and they have to go dig for it, because every time that you place a claim within our iClaim system, as soon as it goes through the clearinghouse, it's just think of it, it gets tagged with a number, like a submission number. It's almost like when you go to mail and you're going to send that mail certified, and you can track that number, you can track that mailing thing. It's the same thing with a claim. Once it goes through the clearinghouse, it gets tagged with some type of tracking number. So there's times whenever you have to go in there and talk with the insurance companies and dig and get that. That's why the doctor's paying you to do that. Now, think about that happening in a doctor's office. Matter of fact, I was at a doctor's office today, and I had to end up leaving because I would have missed today's webinar. But the office is so busy. And matter of fact, the copy machine went down, and that disrupted everything. They couldn't print anything. I mean, it was terrible for this doctor's office. So imagine the biller trying to have to deal with that, and then they can't print out anything, and it just backs things up. And folks, this is the need for medical billing companies like yourself that are looking to get into ABS. Compliance oversight. Now, here at American Business Systems, one of the things that you're getting provided with is not only the iClaim and EMRX platform, but we have another service called Compliancy Guard. Compliancy Guard helps with all HIPAA compliancy. Now, again, doctors' offices, when they've got someone in the office, can't keep up with just all the different things that are happening, even with the codes, let alone HIPAA compliancy. You'll be able to do that because you're able to source all of these services through us, whether it's HIPAA compliancy or iClaim or CodeWrite or Audit Guard or whatever we may have here. You'll actually have all of these tools at your fingertips to be able to help move forward. Then the human element of provider education. Now, again, think about a doctor's office, and they're doing their own billing. Again, all this information all around them is happening all the time. And again, they're not able to keep up as much as we can, because here at ABS, what we do, like almost every other week for our business owners only, we have specialized webinars just for them to keep them updated on information, whether it's coding issues, whether it's like I just shared with you, we're about to have a webinar that Adam is going to launch on the provider revival that's happening back into private practice. They're about to do that one here pretty soon. And then the other information that you can keep your doctor up to date. Now, what I would do, and what a lot of our business owners do, they have special sessions, Zoom meetings or team meetings with their doctors ever so often, just to keep the doctor updated on new things that are happening, whether it's with compliance, HIPAA compliance, or whether it's with the technology, or whether it's with codes that have been adjusted and need to be added, and extensions that need to happen in their. See, all of that, artificial intelligence cannot do any of the things that we're doing. And then finally, I think one of the greatest things that our business owners can do is provide strategic revenue cycle management exercises and plans, and reassess everything, and getting the billing out of that office, number one, and then helping the doctor and their staff become more efficient. That, you won't have a patient that walks in the office and then, their appointment's at 1 o'clock, but they're not going to be seen until 3. There's nothing worse than a patient just getting so frustrated of not, you tell me, doctor, that you want me here at 1 o'clock, but if I'm 15 minutes late, you're going to charge me. But if you're late, I'm supposed to be okay with that. Now, we can help the doctors, educate them, and help them run their office even better, getting this out. But again, that artificial intelligence is not going to do that. It's not going to help the doctors. So what does Adam say in the article? So I've taken some clips out of this, and he says what AI excels at is data analyzation and pattern detection. Okay, that's where it's going to be able to be helpful. The human element remains crucial for complex decision makings, understanding the nuance of medical cases, and ensuring accuracy in coding. So you can see here what we've done so far with this webinar. We've stated the big facts that medical billing in and of itself is a $100+ billion industry. There's a lot of spending that's happening through all of the insurance companies. If you take care of all of the information that's going on in healthcare revenue-wise, it's a $4 trillion business out there. And again, folks, you need just a slice of that. Now, let me kind of share with you how AI, I believe, will help you not only be a better medical biller, but might even help you land the doctor that you're going to be going after. So number one, let's take a look at this. Number one, AI-driven coding can help reach a 95% accuracy in routine cases. This is important to know because the way that our systems are built, it can help the doctor with their coding, and it's going to help you with your coding. Now, matter of fact, even a lot of coding specialties out there are using AI-driven coding to help doctors reach a much better accuracy in their billing. Number two, AI automated eligibility checks can reduce pre-authorization mistakes by 60%. Now, this is huge. Now, let's talk about that real quickly. So if you've gone to the doctor, the first thing that they always ask you when you get there is, what's your name, what's your date of birth, right? Then they find you in the system, and then what they're going to ask you next, are you still with your same insurance company? And if you say yes, right then and there, most of them either have to pick up a phone and dial and make sure that insurance is still valid, or they just take your word for it and they wait for the biller to do that. Now, you can imagine how if that were automated, how much better and of a system that can be. And it will help reduce claims that would get rejected because somebody forgot that they changed their insurance at the first year from Aetna to United Healthcare. You see what I'm saying? So these things happen quite often, and it disrupts the cash flow to the doctor's office. So AI can actually help with that, and our systems are built around that. Number three, AI-driven productivity and analytics can identify potential claims denials ahead of time. Now, again, what we have on top of that in one of our systems, because and you've heard me say that quite often in one of our systems, we actually have three different billing platforms that are being used, and they're all specialized. Everything from a very large um, doctor's office that can handle up to 10 to 15 doctors at a time, because you might find a group like that, to the smaller doctors that need help. And some of these smaller doctors are actually, because they're smaller, they may be providing supplemental vitamins and minerals that they're selling over the counter, and they need to keep inventory. So we have some of our platforms that will actually help keep up inventory. There's even some cost reductions there for the doctors. There's even one that I think we have that can cost the doctor really not a lot, if now to zero. For a cost on to utilize the system, as long as they're utilizing everything that we have in it, that's all included. But again, I'm speaking in very broad terms here. If you want more specifics on that, get back with your sales rep, because what they'll do here for you is to set up a live demonstration of the software that you want to see. Now, like I said, one of the pieces of software actually has built inside of it its own clearinghouse. That means you don't have to go outside of the system to attach a clearinghouse to. This is why we can identify potential claims that are that might be denied before we even submit them. So this has been happening with American business systems. That's why we feel like our platforms are superior to any homegrown type of systems that are out there that need to be maintained on a server that can be cost prohibitive for you and a lot of times for the doctor. And plus, you'd have to keep up with all the patches, and you don't want to have to mess with all that anyway, because so many pieces of software are out there, included you probably use them all day long and not even know it. But how often you were using uh, the Google Drives out there, or Dropboxes out there, or the different, Microsoft Word, or Microsoft 365 out there. And all of those programs don't even reside on your computer anymore. They're all cloud type based softwares. So it's remember back in the old days, we used to call them software as a service, a SaaS system. So that's the way ours is. There's no reason to maintain a piece of software in a server, keep up with the patches that need to go on, make sure that it's all secured and everything. We have that already, and a lot of that drives these performances of reducing the claim reductions of being denied and keeping those denied claims under 2%. Lastly, number four, AI real-time claim adjudication systems handle claims in seconds instead of days. So, folks, with all of that said, I think we've got the best type systems for you to market out there, for you to utilize and see performances driven with what you can be able to do. All right. So, Alan says, any experience with Meditech or inpatient CPT charges? We struggle with automation through Meditech. Sounds like, Alan, that you're already doing some medical billing already. Yeah, this is what I would tell you, and even yet here, or like I mentioned earlier. After today's webinar, you're going to get an opportunity to get back with your sales rep. And I'm always going to drive you back to your sales rep, because they're going to be able to schedule a live demonstration of our software. You can watch it once, you can watch it 2 or 3 times. And when I say watch it, participate in it. It's not going to be a video. You're going to actually do a live demonstration of the software. Now, with that in mind, this will be the same type of demonstrations that we're going to do for you for your doctor. So when you get that doctor to that part of negotiation where you're telling that doctor, hey, I want to show you our software, we're actually going to do that for you. That's included in your investment here, and that's for a lifetime. That's not a one-time thing. That's a thing that happens all the time here. So again, kind of tying this all back to Adam's article, as he stated in his article, he says this: As with the case of medical billing and coding, this critical function of most medical practices requires impeccable accuracy. What AI can now do is quickly look at chart notes and determine what codes should be used for each patient encounter. So again, this is where AI is actually enhancing and bettering uh, the way in which medical billing can be sold back over to a doctor. Now, here's the great thing about it. If you recall, actually remember when I first started here with ABS, we used to still get the CMS forms, and sometimes we had to print those out and even type them out on a typewriter, or do it all on a computer and then roll it through a printer to be able to do that. This is where technology has gone, and it certainly has helped us. All right, so now let's talk about real quickly as we kind of get ready to wrap up here, how artificial intelligence is creating opportunities for outsourced billing companies. Number one, I think it's all in the AI human experience. Outsourced billing companies can develop this hybrid model more easily and efficiently than individual practices. Uh, Folks, that's why a lot of people come on board with us here at American Business Systems. We already have this technology behind you. I think it's going to set you apart with the credibility that's going to be coming with the services and the way that we implement them. You're going to have this AI human experience to be able to deliver directly to these doctors immediately. This is where creating and thinking about having this, like we said here in this slide here, more of a hybrid type model. I think you ought to be talking along those terms. You should be talking to people as you're doing your marketing, or you're even doing some due diligence and everything, that what's driving you into this business is the newness of the technology that's happening with AI. Artificial intelligence, it's a huge thing that's happening, and it's having some incredible impacts already. Now, those that are not utilizing that, there's a lot of medical billing companies out there, and there's a lot of doctors that do in-house billing that, again, they're not doing it as either. So you've got a wide open market right now. This is kind of like the new Wild West, so to say. The first ones that get out there and start utilizing AI more and more are going to be able to grow their business even better. So that's why we talk about AI is creating new opportunities for outsourced billing in this arena. Let's look at how technology investments are increasing. AI-powered billing systems supplied by third-party billers can make the cost affordable to multiple clients. Folks, if a doctor wants to go do this on their own and try to build it or try to go find it on their own, just the time it takes out there. We've done all the heavy lifting for doctors, and we can bring them to a cloud-based system that is shared by other people, other doctors that are utilizing those same platforms, and reduce the cost. And sometimes, as I mentioned earlier, with some of our platforms, there may be little to no cost for the doctors, giving the doctors even a greater advantage. Now, just like any type of subscription service that are out there, I bet you 9 out of 10 doctors already are utilizing some type of subscription-based type of billing system and electronic medical records. I promise you, that's what's happening. Whether it's Practice Fusion, whether it's some of the others that are out there, everybody's utilizing a cloud-based system. Nobody wants to maintain a server-based system anymore. But now what you need to look for are systems, programs out there, platforms that are out there that have the integration of artificial intelligence. And that's where this can be very exciting. As you can see here, we understand that AI can't do everything, but it does create the opportunities for medical billers to focus on the high value services that AI can't handle. We've already talked about that. So those complex appeals, the strategic revenue optimizations, they can't handle everything. So that's why not the way in which that um, artificial intelligence can perform well on these repetitive tasks, it can't do the things that a human needs to be able to do in its day in and day out decision making. As Adam says again in his article, the collaboration between AI and human expertise has the potential to enhance the overall efficiency and accuracy in healthcare processes, creating a symbiotic relationship between technology and skilled professionals in the field. So, folks, as we kind of start wrapping up here, I want to share with you a little bit on some things I want you to look through our website and some things I want you to ask your sales rep about. Number one, if you haven't visited our website yet, I'm sure that you have, and you maybe already done some things. Uh, if you haven't gotten the 5 secrets to success, if you'll go on our website up at the very top right-hand corner, you can download that. It's a PDF. There might be a little information that it's going to ask you about, but no big deal. If you're here on today's webinar, we already have your information, so just fill it out again. But what you're going to get there is the secrets to success of what we've been able to find, and it's got some white papers from some of our already successful business owners. Now, talk about a successful business owners. For those that missed the webinar that Adam and I did about 2 weeks ago, you're going to want to go back and watch that particular testimonial from that one ABS business owner. She is an incredible, and she started back in September, and as of we did the webinar a few weeks ago, she's already up to 4 clients already. But all the different technologies and all the different services, everything from iClaim to EMRX to Quick Collect to Audit Guard and CodeWrite, folks, the rising of virtual care is going through the roof. That's that left hand flyer that you see there at the kind of left hand corner of the screen there. If you don't know much about that, let me quickly tell you about that. That's what's called remote patient monitoring. That's where you can supply the devices for doctors to remotely monitor their patients with blood pressure, with pulse oximeters, with glucometers, scales to make sure that people that have heart failure, that they don't get to weigh too much over a certain period of time. That's all happening with virtual care. There's not another medical billing business opportunity that has that and brings that along with you. Compliancy Guard has to do with HIPAA compliancy, as I mentioned earlier. Choice Pay, AutoCard, doctors that need their credentialing done. This is a service that's outside of billing, but you can't have that do billing if you didn't have that available. And then lastly, if you've got some folks out there, some friends, or you got some acquaintances, or you get introduced and someone says, okay, John or Sarah or Sammy, I hear that you do medical billing, but can you do dental billing? Well, we have Dentamax down there as well. All right. Let's see what else I've got here for you. Also included, again, you can ask your sales rep. They can share with you some of the different styles of websites that you can choose from to have yours. One important part, whenever one of the things that you could ask your sales rep to do whenever you're doing the tour or the live demonstration of iClaim, ask them to take you through a tour of our ABS LSS. This is an incredible, powerful website that is available for our business owners. Once you become a business owner, you'll get a login. It's a secured area. But again, you'll see everything behind the scenes here. This is where we keep all of our recorded webinars that we've done for our business owners. You can go back and look over those. Once you've gone through training, if you need some help or refresher on iClaim or EMRX, you can go back and look at it here. This is where you'll get all of everything that you're going to need for signing up a doctor. So all the contracts, the agreements, the BAAs that you're going to need, all of that is supplied here. It's all right here for you. And then lastly, as we kind of wrap up here, you are going to be part of one of the most biggest major ways and help you get a doctor. And that is you become the writer of the forward to the book, The New Thriving Medical Practice. So once you've completed your training and you get through this, you're going to get books for you that's going to have your name, your credentials on it, CMRM, and in your content that of what of the forward to the book. Now, folks, just again, that's going to be a huge help for you because when you're trying to get a hold of a doctor and you're trying to get their attention, one of the things that you need to show forth, especially early on, is your credibility. Why would a doctor listen to you? Because you're the person that wrote the forward to the book, and there's going to have a ton of information in there for them to think about and utilize. Okay. All right. So, all right. So let's go here. Let's Yitten has got another question. Sorry, this is a funny question, but how did she get 4 clients in such a short time? Did you help her to get clients? Yes. We did help her to get clients. Now, one thing that we didn't do, we just didn't present those. What we gave her what were the same thing that I've used. Folks, a lot of people ask, Eric, I hear you week to week on these webinars. My question to you, have you ever owned a medical billing company? And I have. I've owned 2 of them. I worked with those with my wife. We built those up. But my heart is what I do here with American Business Systems, and that's kind of share the story. So every marketing tool that we have and what she was able to do to bring that for her to be able to get there was she just used the same thing that we teach over and over and over again. I'm going to see if I can find this just real quickly. So if y'all will just hold on with me real quickly here, I'm going to see if I can find that particular one so you'll know where to go. YABS. YABS. Well, I think if I could spell correctly, I might be able to find it. youtube.com/YABS. There we go. I tell you, technology works if your fingers will work there. So I'm going to show this. I'm going to stop showing this, and I'm going to share my screen here. So you can see right here, this was, hit share there. So just go to this website, youtube.com/YABS. It's on the front page here. Interview with Aaliyah Khan. You'll see that right there. What an incredible, incredible young lady she is. Right next to it, you see that there's a webinar that I did with Dr. Vicki Rackner. You can go watch that there. You can hear directly from her of what she had to say. Go check it out. We've got tons and tons and tons of videos. You can just scroll through to your heart's content. Year after year after year. We do these quite often there. Let me stop sharing that and get back over to our little slide deck here. Remember, if you want to get a copy of this, go to your sales rep and then ask for a copy of that. I'm going to close that down so I can kind of, let's get back over here, click that and share that. There we go. All right. So folks, if you have any other questions, throw those up there for me. Until then, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you some next steps of what you need to do. Okay. So here's some next steps. First of all, hopefully you've found this enjoyable. I know it seemed like a lot of data, but you needed to know what this information is and how it impacts you as being part of a business. I mean, as I've said before on other webinars, I'm hoping I'm talking to a group of like-minded executives, CEO type of people, because that's what you got to be thinking of. It's important to learn about the software, but it's important to understand the why behind it. Why would you want to get involved in this business? If you're looking to get involved in this business because it's a better mousetrap, that's not the whole reason behind it. Now, it's part of the reason behind it, but it is a way in which we've been able to do business, have integrity. We help you to learn how to build trust with your people. because that's what our mission is for you, is that we build trust with you. Hopefully some of that will rub off as we go forward.